Hey, welcome back to Brunch. I'm Scotty Withers with Honey Labrador. Unfortunately, Roy Doctor had to leave, but his really hot brother, twin brother, Ray Doctor is here with us.
Hey, Ray.
He's a past life therapist. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm good. I apologize about messing up your name.
That's all right.
It's too early
It's
in the
okay.
morning.
He's getting famous for that. And,
I
you know,
am.
I
You're
mean,
getting back at me out of the past life.
Exactly. It's
I never
all
remember
about
your
you
name.
screwing me over in the past life. Now,
sweetheart, he didn't even know who Betty Buckley was. So we'll just leave it at that. And
Thanks
I love
for
you,
coming
baby.
in. I have a lot of questions for you
Okay.
about past life regression. First of all, there's the people that think, oh, this will take me back to when I was living in 4th century BC.
Well, everybody
and it'll
was
tell me what I
Marie
did.
Antoinette
right.
as well.
But it's also, it doesn't have to take you back that far. You can go back to different parts of your life. Is that right? Like back to birth or something?
Yeah. Basically, when I do work with somebody, I take them through the birthing process, and before that, past life just kind of gives you a vehicle to recognize why you possibly chose your parents and the circumstances that you are in this very moment.
I think everybody wants to know that answer to that question, why
Right.
we chose the parents we have.
Yeah.
Well,
Love
sure.
you, Mom.
Well, that's a spiritual belief system as well. So
Yeah.
for you, I mean, really about getting into past life regression therapy. I mean, for you, when did you decide that you wanted to do this, and what attracted you to it? So we can get a little background
Well,
on you.
basically, I was going through a lot of my own stuff and issues, and I started doing traditional psychotherapy, and I just kind of hit a wall. There had to be much more than that. I mean, the question was why. I mean, now I know my mom is this way and my dad is this way. Why was I born at this certain time with these circumstances? And then when I did a regression, it kind of helped me with the answer, and it helped me move past those walls that were in my way.
Right. Well, I mean, always there are those cynics out there who think, oh, this is all new agey, blah, 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 blah. And for me, I actually was telling you earlier that I did a past life regression therapy session some time ago, and I was in this place in my life that, I was very open to anything. Like you said, I'd hit walls in other areas, and it was something where it seemed to me that it was incorporated with a little bit of hypnosis, so to get me to wherever I had to go. Can you talk a little bit about, the
process.
The process.
How you do it.
Well, basically, some people have a form of induction. What I do is I kind of focus on a person's breathing. I might use some guided imagery. But basically, their unconscious mind will lead us wherever they need to go. And sometimes I'm just trying to work on a person's life here and now. It might be some surgery they experienced or something, and all of a sudden they'll start saying words that sound infinite, like from a past life, and boom, they're there. And I don't even try.
Right.
So how many clients or people do you work with? Do you have a big clientele?
I see between 15 to 20 people a week.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Any celebrities? You don't have to say their names.
Obviously not.
You don't have to say their names, but
We just for facts of who goes to do this. Is this something that you find it's open to everybody, or is it something that being here in Hollywood, it's celebrity based?
It's funny. I think being in Los Angeles, and everyone wants to know who they were possibly in a past life. A lot of times it's just exploration. They think they're someone famous or something like that.
why does everybody think that they're Cleopatra? Every woman thinks they were Cleopatra.
I have no idea, but more than likely they were a slave.
Right.
They want to be Cleopatra.
Exactly. There's Cleopatra, Marie Antoinette, Joan of Arc, and then, of course, you have Shirley MacLaine, where, she actually was somebody who brought a lot of this into the limelight,
She was.
in the, late 70s, early 80s with her book Out on a Limb. And that's what got me interested. And so knowing that you were coming here was, completely fascinating to me.
So-
And we kind of have some ideas of who
Yeah, I know.
we may have been. We'll get to that.
We'll get to that in a second. How far, what's the furthest you've ever taken someone back? Like, did someone say, I was Jesus, or I was Mary, I was Joseph? I mean, how far have you dealt with someone?
I've gone back where there was no even spoken language.
Really?
Yeah. So that was a difficult
So you were in
section.
Idaho. Oh, gosh. Oh, we're not going to be on anytime
exactly.
soon on the cable
Sorry,
companies
we
in
don't mean to
Idaho.
offend people there. No, they were knuckle draggers back then.
So
Well, there goes that cable company.
That's like that Cro-Magnon Geico commercial. Anyway, we
So
did
you've taken
digress.
people back that far.
Oh, yes.
How can you tell if it's real or if someone's just saying it because they want it to be real?
Well, the question I put out there is, why are they talking about in the first place? They might even talk about something and they'll stop in the middle of the session and say, I think I saw that on a movie, and I'll ask them, well, what is so significant about that movie? What matters more than anything else, if it means something to them and if they have possibly a cathartic experience. I mean, if it means something to them and their life changes, who cares? If it's just their imagination, who cares?
Have you ever had a client that said, "Oh, I was someone's famous," and who were those people that they thought they were?
Actually, I've never had anyone
really
do that. No.
Okay.
Well, I think what's really interesting, and like you're saying, it's what is embedded in our psyche and how to get to that and access that. You know, this is obviously one way to do that, and that's we can focus on whatever issues are going on in our lives. And, you know, we talked about how when I did this session, I was never closed.
Yeah.
Now, this is something like, this isn't a joke. So this is for people who are out there and you go and do this. You're taking somebody, they're very vulnerable. You're being trusted to open them up, you know, emotionally and, you know, psychologically. What is the process in bringing them back?
Okay. Well, like in traditional like psychotherapy, you know, it's okay to possibly leave something open. In past life therapy, it's much different because if something happened traumatic and a person comes out of the session and there's no closure, they might be walking around still in the past life, so it could be contraindicated. So possibly what you experienced was the same thing. You need some closure.
I swear, and I'm very serious about this. I was like in this, in a big castle, and I could feel, when I was in this, I could feel the table, I could feel everything. And I mean, it's I'll talk to you about it after this. We just don't have that kind of time.
I've actually read some articles about this as well, where people have gone through this process and started speaking foreign languages that they didn't know, like in normal speak, they had no idea. They'd never taken French. They had never spoken a word of French, and then they could do it. Have you ever experienced that?
No, I have an interesting story that the gentleman who trained me, his name is Dr. Netherton. He's been doing this for about 46 years. He had a boy that was 12 years old, spoken Chinese, and they didn't know where this was coming from. And he took a recording of it to some professor in UCLA, and he said that this language was
an ancient dialect.
Yeah, exactly. And that the only reason why he believed a little boy did it is because he believed in reincarnation.
Wow.
So,
right.
So let's put up some of the pictures of us in past lives. We did this earlier before.
Influences.
So
Bobby Trendy
there's
would
Bobby
have to
Trendy.
be.
Unfortunately, he's still alive, but his career is dead, so maybe we're channeling his career.
He'll never guest on our show again.
We love Bobby. We're just kidding, babe. Pope John Paul. We're going to get a lot of angry letters for that one.
He likes to dress up as the Pope.
I do. I like his hat.
It's one of those things. Grudge.
Oh, that's that movie. I'm not being that person. Here we go. This one is. That's me. There I am. Now, I was alive. I can't be him because we were both live at the same time. Is that right? So that's not possible. And then Sonny and Cher.
I'm Sonny.
That's fine. we love Sonny.
We just had to have a little levity there. You do have a website. Let's put that up because we want, you know, for anybody who has any question, wholeminds.com. And again, this is what you do is so important because for people, like you said, hit a wall. They can't get any further. It's something that is, again, it's like our last guest, talking about attitude and being able to open up your mind and do whatever you can to be a whole person.
Absolutely.
See, I tied that all together.
I would actually like to do this, like when we're not here, is actually go sometime after work and go through this.
Well, you know, our producer was saying in my ear, is there any way he could take either one of you through this? And I'm like, no, we're not going to do that right now. Because it really is something that you do in a sacred space. And, you know, maybe what we'll do is one of us will come in and then we'll do a follow-up and we can talk about it.
And so check out his website. This is Ray Doktor. His brother Roy will be back after this break. You don't want to miss that.
Thank you so much.
For our how-to segment coming up after this, you're watching Brunch live on the Q Television Network.
Thank you so much.